What's good, people? Welcome to the brand new Parisian Londoner podcast. Make some noise. Yeah? Okay. I like that. Today we have a very special lineup. So there's this guy on my left-hand side. As I said earlier, he's a bit of a wanker, but he's here. Love him. Swell is co-hosting with me, born and raised Parisian Londoner.
What's up, man?
Exactly. 20th District of Paris representing. On his left-hand side, we also have David Ginola. Big up for Andrea. He's a Parisian Londoner, actually. He was born in London. He's now living in Paris, so he's technically a Parisian Londoner, but he's supporting Spurs, unfortunately. So,
It starts now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You know you're going to get
Let's
rusted.
keep it for later, Let's keep it for later.
I'd like to start now if possible.
On his left-hand side, we have Jeff. I was about to say a Spurs fan, mate. Jesus, no. Well, look at his face.
No.
Arsenal fan, so proper Londoner with us today. We need some proper Londoner insights here. So welcome, Jeff. Welcome to the team. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, clapping. Definitely. On my right-hand side, I have the one and only Alexis from the Hooligans.
Hey.
He's live and direct, not live and direct, but he's straight from New York City, baby.
Let's go, baby. Brooklyn,
New York
represent.
City.
This is actually a Parisian accent. I don't know if you knew that. No, I'm joking. It's I'm from like the 700th district.
So I already have a question for you, mate, actually.
Yeah.
Which team do you support?
Which team? Here?
What's the answer, bro?
What's that answer?
I mean, I'm wearing an Arsenal top for sure.
Nice. But is it every country
You have a club?
a club?
Well, I mean, I work with and support New York City Football Club. I've had a season ticket there since day one,
Okay.
since before they even had a name.
Support your local club?
Of course.
Always.
Shouts to NYCFC. I work with the team now. I do content for them, and they gave me a championship ring. So, I mean,
brilliant.
You buy me diamonds, I love you.
It's like my wife.
Yeah, exactly. And and obviously Arsenal. And I support PSG on a merch level, mostly.
Wait, we're going to talk about this.
Wait. Keep that for later. Keep that for later.
Exactly. And then on his right-hand side, we have Gauthier, also born and raised Parisian.
Not the last.
Part of the Parisian Londoner team. Same. For how long have you been supporting PSG? Like from...
Whoa.
Exactly. I like
think
that
it's
kind of
born,
answer.
basically.
Thank you. So today we're going to be talking about differences between English football and French football, but also all things PSG. To be fair, as you just said, PSG has changed a lot in the past few years. Everyone knows about PSG. Also, as you said, the merchandising stuff, but us as kind of old-fashioned fans, we are a bit annoyed by this. But at
Not
the
everyone.
same time, not
Not
everyone.
everyone.
Yeah, not you. I know you.
Yeah, I know. I met some of those guys wearing the Ultra shirts when I was there last, and they were not too excited about some of the newer fans,
Did they
particularly a fat
chase
guy
you?
with a Brooklyn accent.
They chase you with forks?
No, not with forks. But they did start to, in New York, we call it pressing when you go near someone who you're not a fan of.
They circle
And I was
you.
like, I'm getting pressed. I know what this is. I was like, so I'm going to walk away before this becomes any more.
So the two topics we will develop today are related to the football culture in this country comparing to the football culture in France, but also everything around the match day experience as well, which is very different in France than here in the UK and in England in particular. So let's just kick off.
Yeah, we're going to develop two big topic, I think. So let's kick off with the football culture.
The football culture, yeah.
And as we were speaking...
Shall we say soccer culture?
No.
come on.
Well, maybe when we speak to...
They invented that word here. That ain't my fault.
Exactly.
when we speak to Alexis, maybe we say soccer, but I don't like it.
Come on.
Coming back to something that you say, Alexis, I really want to know what is your view about the merch.
The PSG brand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a topic that, as someone who comes from an American point of view, I think one of the things that is so frustrating about English sports in general, but obviously football, is the merch is like never, like Adidas is doing an incredible job. Whether you hate Arsenal or not, I think we would all agree Adidas is doing an incredible job of bringing out things that you
Vintage
could wear.
kits.
Yeah, vintage kits, but also like what we would call like on TV, it'd be called like shoulder programming. It's like stuff that isn't a kit, but you could wear casually, like
Yes.
sweaters, jumpers, whatever you want to call them, tracksuits, jackets. The stuff they did with 443 or 442, I forget. Like they're doing collabs with fashion
Yes,
brands.
the black and red
Yeah, the
one.
black
Yeah, I
and red.
remember.
Those
They
are all
had
the
like
things
big
that have been missing
coats and-
forever. When I
True.
was young and an Arsenal fan, great Parisian, one of my favorite players of all time, Thierry Henry. When I was watching him play, I couldn't afford a football top. I couldn't afford a shirt. But I'm like, well, let me go get a hat. There were no hats. It was like impossible to find. And the only hats you would find just had the Arsenal badge on it. I'm like, yo, there's no swag to this. You think back to that era, there was like, you know, Knicks hats would have the lines and like Knicks would be written like either like slant or like graffiti. Like there was like stuff you could buy that wasn't just the logo. And football merch was always behind, always lagging. And then all of a sudden, I start seeing the Jordan brand collab with PSG. And everything changed. But here's the secret about PSG. It opened the eyes to a lot of the previous and throwback kits, or like old school kits, which were so wavy. Was it Okocha, right? Yeah. The stuff with the PSG and blocks, like that one over there. Yes. I have the old school one with the PSG blocks over here. Was it Commodore?
Yeah,
you know,
Commodore.
Remember that? All the OG stuff. I'm like, all of it was super wavy. The colors are fly. It always had like a sash.
It's coming back
line.
now.
Yeah. But like the look of it, I was like, bro, how did I not know about this back in the day? Like that's such a good look. So I think the Jordan brand did a lot, but I think it's actually part of the tradition of PSG if you really look at it, because you guys have always had really
Paris
dope
capital
kits.
of fashion. The swag,
I
the
knew
drip,
it. My over-under on you saying that was about
Paris,
5 minutes into this podcast. I'm like, they're going to call themselves the fashion capitals.
Yeah, of course,
I said, I know
bro.
it.
We're proud of this. Come on.
I love Paris, bro. Paris is one of my third favorite city in the world.
Third?
New York, obviously, number one. London, because I'm an Arsenal supporter.
Second.
And then Paris.
Parisian Londoner is just tailored for you, mate.
If I could live in any city outside of New York, it'd be a toss-up. I'd flip a coin between London and Paris.
Jeez, okay, that's good.
You can actually live in the Manche.
Between Paris and the English channel.
Right. I'm on a Eurostar. That's why I live. Send my mail to the Eurostar, bro.
So now I'm going to ask Andrea about his opinion. He's a Spurs fan, but he's living in Paris. He grew up in London as well. Obviously, your dad played for PSG and played also for different clubs in this country.
And he spent time in New York.
As well. So what are your thoughts around the image of PSG at the international level comparing to what it was before? Do you think that's great because it's contributing to the popularity of the club? Or do you think it's a bit annoying for the old fans and the new fans that don't really know about the club, but they wear the merchandising of the club? What are your thoughts on it? Would you like this for Spurs, for example?
To be honest, I'm not typically against it. Depends on how you position yourself as a fan. Obviously, a proper fan that's been fan for ages, been going to the stadium. I was looking up prices for the Champions League game coming up in Le Parc des Princes. And the prices are just outrageous.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, it's got bad, positive sides to it, negative sides to it as well. It's tough because I've been to games with hardcore fans, and obviously they're not in favor of that at all. But I think it helped the club develop massively. Obviously, it helped attract massive players because...
And now they have opened a shop in the Fifth Avenue in New York as well.
That was huge.
Because if you look at the lineup we had not that long ago, 7, 8, maybe 10 years ago, and where we were and where we are now, I mean...
I like when he says Luyendula, right? That was his name? Piguet Luyendula? Yeah, you went from him to Messi, bro. I know. What a span of 10 years.
Alexis, I think you forgot Ronaldinho.
Yes, I'm not saying you didn't have that.
That was before.
I'm like showing you an example of getting Messi for free. I mean, that's a pretty good stretch.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
But do you really think there's a link between merchandising and
100%.
your team?
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not even sure because look at our owner.
All right,
They are so fucking rich.
If you didn't have infinite amount of money as an owner, if you didn't, ways to build your club, ways to build the value of your club, ways to build the brand is by selling more merch. If you don't want to, and I know this doesn't exactly fit PSG because it is so expensive. I went to Messi's debut at Parc des Princes, and to buy that ticket, it cost, for two people, me and my co-host, it was $400.
Jesus.
And that was on your own secondary market, that Billet, whatever it's called.
Reselling, ticket place.
And we were getting scammed, but it was still a pretty good seat. And honestly, I paid worse for worse seats at the Knicks, so I don't feel terrible about it. But when you look at like a club like, let's say, Arsenal, if Arsenal wants to spend more in the market, one of the best ways to make more money is to sell more merch. That way you don't have to charge the fans more money at the stadium. I know that doesn't exactly work for PSG, but think about it. If you were able to sell a ton more merch, now you wouldn't have to raise the price of the tickets. You wouldn't have to do that. But also makes the club more enticing to come see.
Mate, Jeff, we were discussing this last time. There's a different approach in the UK because if you see someone in the street wearing a kit of Manchester United, for example, or Arsenal, you would automatically think that this person is supporting that club. Whereas you can see people wearing PSG tracksuits and even the new Jordan kits and everything. It happened to me. I live in West London, been to those guys like, introduce myself, say, oh, are you wearing a PSG tracksuit? Are you a PSG fan? They're like, nah, it just looks sick, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I think when you see someone wearing a kit from Manchester United, Arsenal, Man City, etc., they normally support the club.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, people are buying the PSG
it's crazy. Even in this country.
merchandise, not just because of the look of the merchandise, it's also the players, and they're buying the names of the players behind the kits.
Yeah, but that's a new way
As
to
well.
support football, because back in the days we were a fan of a club.
Yeah.
You know, players leave clubs, and
The club stays.
and fans are still here. And today it's like
They follow the players.
I'm
Yes.
Mbappe fan,
Yeah.
Neymar fan, Messi
Yeah,
fan.
yeah.
Cristiano is back to Manchester. I'm
Now
a
they're
Manchester
supporting
fan.
United. Yeah, that's
come
true.
on.
Yeah, that's
I think
very
it's two different ways to consume football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you consume football by staying close to your team, whatever happened. Now is if PSG, I really don't wish it that we go down. It will be half of the fans that will go.
Okay.
I'd like to add one last thing. Not all players, but most players now have an image to take care of. See themselves as you know, as a proper brand. And we were talking about money that owners have. Owners have a lot of money as well. But today, maybe PSG being so put forward abroad is a better choice for players that consider their image, like Neymar, like Messi, more important probably than football, which is on the other side, like a player like Haaland, for example, decided to go City, maybe based more on football and results and playing in the Premier League,
Exactly.
and maybe less focused
That's a
on
very interesting
his
point.
image. And
We
all
actually
that.
had
very
that
interesting
problem
point.
with players that we want to get rid of
Yes.
because
Waiting for the image
Kurzawa, I
and the
love
hype
you,
and everything.
bro. Hopefully you see the video. But I love you.
He's in Fulham now.
Yeah, I know, but
We
he didn't
we
want to
put
go.
him, so- Yeah, I know.
He
It's
didn't
not
want
only
to
him,
go
but
because of PSG brand and PSG, all the image that.
on the top of the football culture that is really different is also the match day experience here that is very different.
Yeah.
You see guys here in the UK, you pay a lot of attention to the away days more than the home games, for example. Also in terms of generations that are supporting the club. I see like moms wearing the West Ham kits like 48 hours before the game in the office, mate.
Yeah.
My mom is from Paris. I can tell you, she's not wearing any PSG stuff out in the office, mate. I can tell you, I love you, mom. But you know what I mean? Like, it's a different way to support. It's more across all generations, and they're really aware about the history of their club as well, even if they were not born. I don't know. It's just the approach to football is way different from France. What do you think?
No, agreed. I'm not too sure about France, if I'm honest, but I know that here, I think, especially away games, season ticket holders, whatever age they are, you will see 80, 90-year-olds going to away games and making more noise than anybody else.
Than at home.
Than
Yeah.
at
Whereas
home.
us, it's more
Than at
important
home,
to
Yeah, it's very
make
different.
more noise at home to show the other team that you playing at home, like it's our turf. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas you guys,
We
the
will
away days are more
silence you,
important
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
You guys are also using this as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, that we
The
don't actually
programs,
have.
the leaflets you are having during match days, we don't have such a thing in France, man.
They don't have programs
Wow.
in France.
No?
I
No.
never buy programs. I'm just
Wow.
one of
Yeah,
those dudes.
exactly.
I
No,
don't care about programs, but it's
are
a
you
huge
guys
deal
actually
here.
buying those stuff?
Yeah, people buy
People
the
are
programs.
collecting them as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I know people who have bookshelves full of them for every match they've been to.
Crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Wow.
You
In
see?
France, it's something that
What-
doesn't really
We
exist.
don't have this.
Why
What do you
don't
get?
they
What do you have?
them?
Like a glass
Because
of wine?
no one
Remember the
can
glass of wine?
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Here's your brie for the match. Oh,
No, but I think in France is not in the culture that the way to consume football is not the same. Here it will be you learn about the game, you
History.
learn history, you
Yeah.
learn. A 6 years old kid will talk
Knows about exactly.
better about
He will tell you
Arsenal than
1996.
anyone
This
else.
player
Yeah.
scored
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
60th minute or whatever.
Yeah, like-
Go to the teenagers
to
in
Parc des
France. They will
Princes,
be
it
like,
will
nah,
be fun.
Neymar, Mbappe, Messi. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know. and that's different.
So is it a suggestion that football means more
Here,
to Londoners
sure.
than it does to
No,
Parisians?
Londoners. I think, yeah, of course, Londoners,
English
because that's the
versus the
city of
French.
football, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know how
I
many
just
clubs you have.
think-
What
in
about
I just
Marseille?
think
Marseille are like
Oh,
crazy fans, right? Don't they have like
whoa.
very rabid fans?
No, we don't
We don't
speak
want
about
to-
Marseille.
Sorry.
Marseille is
We
is
don't speak
different.
about
but,
Marseille.
who's better to talk about English and French football than our very special guest that we
Someone
have
who
with
played
us
in
today,
both.
who's a legend in both countries, in France and the UK, David Ginola.
Ginola.
Come on. Thanks, David,
All
for
right,
being
guys.
with us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time.
pleasure.
We were just discussing the differences between English football and French football. And in relation to this, we have few questions for you. So the first question for you, David, is that, PSG has changed a lot since you played for PSG. And recently we can see kind of the same with Newcastle, which is a club you played for as well. They have brand new investors. They have a lot of money now. Everything is changing. Do you think it's going to impact Newcastle the same way as the new owners of PSG has impacted PSG in terms of trophies, making the team more competitive? And what do you think about what's happening at Newcastle, for example? Do you think it's the same as PSG?
Well, I think PSG when the Qataris investors put the money on the table in 2011,
Yeah.
they decided to become one of the best clubs in Europe, well, in the world actually.
Yeah.
They along the time they went through, I think 10 titles.
Yeah.
As French champions, it's just amazing what they achieved. I wish that a similar thing will happen in Newcastle, and I don't see why not. Because when you put a lot of money, it's not just the money you're going to invest in the club, it's the way you're going to invest the money in the club. I think you have to take lessons of what happened somewhere else, and I think Paris Saint-Germain is a good example. So I guess people at Newcastle right now, they are thinking, well, okay, look at Newcastle. 2011, they invested the money. They said at the beginning, we want to win the Champions League. They haven't won anything in Europe.
Yet.
In their own country. So I guess they probably go to have a different path towards the success. And because money can't buy anything.
Sure.
I was working for a club called Matra Racing in the
Yes.
early 90s. And at the time, we had a lot of money at the club. They bought all the best players around. But we were relegated because the spirit wasn't there. And I think the money is very important when you invested wisely. Wisely is about psychologically how you're going to approach the money, because everyone is right now talking about Newcastle United. And this is obviously a good reason, because they can become one of the best clubs in the world in the next 5-6 years. And this is honest to think that way. And I wish for Newcastle United and all the fans that will happen the way they think, because they deserve it. They deserve. I know the fans since 1995 when I arrived in England, and they are absolutely amazing, and they deserve to have a team that is successful.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's an
Yeah.
interesting answer.
So it's a good correlation between money and good football, but it's not it. It's not it. I need to ask you one thing. Have you ever thought about Newcastle getting a Champions League?
I think so. To be fair, I mean, if it's the same as us, I think they can make it. As David said, I think it will take 5 or 6 years, something like that. But I think Newcastle has always been a big club in this country, to be fair. So I think they can do that. Yeah.
I think they think about it before, because they actually create a music
Yes.
for you,
A song.
David Ginola.
New song. Yeah.
So
yeah.
we're gonna get the other David, the one who's behind on
the production.
to just pass the music for you.
Maybe you can hear it.
If you hear it, just knock.
Okay,
We're
go
gonna
on,
put it now.
Go on.
You got to translate.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
So they're saying left, la la
Left,
la,
right,
left,
foot like
right,
Ginola.
foot like Ginola, la.
It's a Newcastle
It's a
song.
new song. They have the Newcastle fans. They're talking about you. They're singing it. It's in relation to Saint-Maximin,
Yeah,
the
Saint-Maximin.
French player.
Okay,
And they
okay,
sing
okay.
for Saint-Maximin. And when they talk about Saint-Maximin, they say left, right, foot like Ginola, la.
Yeah.
And they talk about Laurent
Okay.
Robert as well. So you're
So
still very present with the Newcastle
I think
fans.
they thought about winning a Champions League before.
Yeah, with you.
With you.
But listen, I think that's something that amazed me in England when I was playing there, is the way the fans, they can write songs on players for one particular game. And I had a few at Newcastle, a few at Tottenham, and it was just like, wow, you're just surprised when you enter on the pitch and you hear the song and you say, wow, they have been very, very creative.
Creative, yeah.
They've been
And I
working on
think-
it.
And I think that's the main, if I can compare what I had in France with PSG and when I arrived in England with Newcastle United, I think the main difference is, well, the main difference was that the fans, they are much more involved in terms of creation. So you can create things on the pitch, but I have to say that the fans, they can be very, very creative too.
That's very true.
Nice.
That's very true. So
Geoff.
Jeff, you wanted to say something around the difference between UK and French football?
Would you say the respect is different in the UK to France? For example, could you go to a Nando's,
yeah.
any shop in the UK?
You can go anywhere you want. You know, I always thought that if I want to be nice and tranquil and easy, I stay home. When I was playing in England, obviously it's difficult, but you know, it's not a big deal because most of the time, even now when I go back to England, the fans, they are really, really nice.
They're respectful.
Taxi drivers, people in the streets, and I find out that it is actually who you are as a person more than what you are as a footballer. Because if you are playing great football and as a person you're not a good person, people they will say, okay, he can play great football, but in terms of a human being, he's not a really nice person. So I guess these days, okay, they remember the player, but also they remember the man who embraced Lady Di cause with the Anti-Landmines campaign, British Heart Foundation, all the things I did in the charity world.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important too, because footballers these days, I encourage every single footballers to give a little bit more of their person towards others, because we have been so lucky in our life to become. I dream about becoming a football player when I was 9 years old. 10 years later, I signed my first contract. I worked hard for that. I was very lucky to do what I dream of. And you know what? Sometimes in your life, you have to realize that and think, well, it's probably time for me to give back something.
Amen.
And, and I think it is the most important.
True.
Because footballers' ideas, the voice of a footballer, the words, every time you say something, the people, they listen to you. People, they follow your path.
True.
And
Yeah,
they want
they do.
to, especially the kids. The kids, every single word you say about encouraging, about pushing, about being focused, it's very relevant these days, even more these days with the social network, to emphasize the fact that you're a kid, you want to embrace a career in football, but it's not just saying it. You need to prove it every day. Every time you go to bed, every time you wake up in the morning, you need to be focused on your dream. You need to focus on the thing you want to achieve in your life.
Wow, very motivational. Wow.
I'm going to add one
Amen.
more thing before we move on
Yeah, go
regarding that question.
Yeah.
That's like that.
Yeah.
We once
Can you see him? Can you see him?
No.
No.
No, David, can you change the camera and put it on?
Yeah.
No,
there
but
you go. Easy.
Perfect.
I have a slight problem with my son. No, man, I have to tell you, because before I was winning every single game of golf we did, and now I'm losing every single
Well, he's
Tough
getting
times.
better apparently.
Oh, it's getting very, very good.
So we once went to watch Marseille PSG game in Marseille,
In Marseille, yeah.
and we had a little car park problem, so we had to park pretty far away from the stadium, and we had to walk all the way to the stadium right before the game. So with all the Marseille fans, and
Yeah.
you'd be surprised how obviously one or two shouted a couple, you know,
Okay.
swearing words and stuff, but most of them were really
Respectful.
And we walked for like a couple miles as well. So
Because you are originally from the south of France as well. They know that. You were born in Gassin, right? I used to spend my holidays in Gassin as well. So that's also
Did
probably
you?
why. Yeah, that's also probably why you're well respected in the south of France,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I think
I
it's
don't
respected
think that's
everywhere.
the reason.
Everywhere.
I think the reason is you know what they say in Marseille. I remember what Andrea is talking about when we went to see the Classico. They call
Nice.
Marseille PSG. You just think that it's going to be complicated to walk towards the stadium, and in fact, the people they don't. I'm in the south of France right now. I bump into every day into Marseille fans, and they only the only thing they say is David, I'm sorry because you didn't play for us. We will love to have you in Marseille.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Very interesting. Very interesting. Gucci, I think you had a question around the. It's a bit of a video game question, but he's the geek one of the crew actually.
Okay, it's the FIFA.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's my question, because 25 years ago you were on FIFA 97 cover, and last season it was a surprise. You had two cards on Ultimate Team, so two hero card. And how is it to work with EA? Was it your idea? Are you happy with all your stats in game? So
Yeah, well, I do remember when the Electronic Arts asked me back in 1997 to do the cover, but it was not just to make the cover, it was to do all the motion capture. So I traveled to Vancouver for an entire week, and for this week in particular, I have to put the suit and the lasers, and they capture every single
Sensors.
every single move, every single celebrations. And listen, guys, you know what? Even the tackles, I can't tackle. And they asked me to tackle and to do all the defenders stuff, you know. So it was a privilege, because I think when you are a footballer or a basketball player or any kind of sports, when a company like Electronic Arts and with FIFA, they ask you to promote something like that towards your game of football, it's an honor, it's a privilege, and because you realize that kids all around the world they will play FIFA, and I was very very passionate and very glad to do that. And when they asked me 2 years ago to do the how you call this, the legend stuff?
Legends,
Legends
It's
cards.
FIFA Legends.
actually it's hero.
Heroes.
Sorry,
FIFA Heroes.
Sorry, Gauthier.
It's gonna get very angry.
It was also a privilege, because obviously when you stop and you retire from the game, you realize that the football is over. Things are it's in the past, and it's place now for the new players, and it's normal. That's normal stuff. I mean, I don't criticize that. So the fact is, I was on it, but you never know how they're gonna promote you.
How good you're gonna be. Yeah. But your card is better than plenty of. You better on FIFA than plenty of new players actually.
And this is something very interesting, because now I have kids coming to oh, you are David Ginola? I say yes. They say, oh, you are the FIFA player? And I say, okay, but yes, I am.
Yeah, it's a different generation, so you have to work with both. Yeah,
it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Honestly, it's brilliant, because I went the other day on YouTube and I watched some comments and footage of guys where like making a how can I say comparison between players on FIFA. And they say, oh, they hate me because when they don't have me in the team, they're losing. So it's very, and this is all because Andrea also, he was a key figure in that process.
Everyone knows the perception of the Parisian League, of Ligue 1 outside of Paris or outside of France. You've got one of the biggest clubs in the world in PSG. You've got some of the best, you're developing some of the best players. You've got the Clairefontaine Academy that develops incredible players. You've won the World Cup as France. What is it going to take to get the Parisian League to be bigger, considered one of the top 2 or top 3 leagues in the world?
The French League, you mean?
The French League.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It's
I'm
not
sorry.
only about Paris.
I like Wait a minute. Paris isn't a country? No. The French League, yes.
Mentality.
Nice.
Passion. Comprehension of what football can bring to the kids.
Community.
What football can bring other than just making highlights on
YouTube.
All the best players. News. I think is football is the best promotion for everyone. And when the country of France will understand that they need an amazing championship within the country, they will make a massive step forward towards other championship, because I play in both in France and in England, and I soon realized when I was in England that they get everything. They got everything straight. It's very simple. Passion is there. The fans is there. The money is there.
Talent.
You can make something amazing. And France, we are a bit, footballers. When I was playing football many years ago, the critics I received was massive, because a footballer was just made to play football. He couldn't make any advertisements about any product. And if you look in the States, you go in England, now it's part of a daily life. A footballer can play football, train every day, play on the Saturday, and sometimes go and make an advert and do pictures for magazines and things like that. And I think as far as you do your job properly and you give 100% to your job, you can do anything you want. So I think it's mainly a question of mentality. Paris, they are criticized, obviously, because they have a lot of money. Yeah. But on the other hand, they're winning everything in France. So there's nothing you can criticize on that. I think you should take example from the best. You should take example of the one who are successful, and you don't have to shout. You don't have to spit on those guys. I mean, when they are at the top, you have to say, well, why they are the top. Those guys, they are the top because they think differently. They brought a different approach towards success, and then you're gonna realize that, well, maybe I need to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said. Thank you for your answer. I think your son wants to say something before you leave.
Thank you for coming on for the first show. I'm very happy it was you and not someone else.
I'm still your dad. Don't speak to me.
That was a good one.
That's gonna be
anyway. It doesn't prevent me from being really happy. So it was important. It was the first one.
Yeah, I love you, my son.
And obviously, before we leave you, could you give me just one stadium where the ambiance, the fans really impressed you the most, or left you with the biggest memory?
That's a very tricky question, because first of all, everywhere I played, it was a joy. Every time I was wearing a different jersey, I tried to give my best and give 100% towards the people who employed me. So Paris was special because it was my first title with the club. We played many amazing games in Europe. The public and the fans in Paris were amazing. But I realized when I arrived at St. James Park that things were just miles apart, because it wasn't just on in the stadium. It was outside in the city. It was everywhere. Everywhere you can smell football. Everywhere you can smell Newcastle United Football Club. And because of that, I think St. James Park and the Geordies have brought me something special in my heart. So, it's, but it's a very difficult question because even after when I signed for Spurs, I mean, I was playing like in my backyard. It was special because I have so much respect for the fans who are, working hard during the week and paying a lot of money to come and watch games. So I have so much respect for that every time I was wearing the jersey, entering on the pitch to play a football game, I tried to give them something back. And but the best compliment I can receive is when you enter a stadium and the people say, "Oh, David, we want to be surprised. We want to be. Can you give us something? Because our week has been terrible, and we need to have something to spend a nice weekend."
Nice.
So, it's not just playing football. A footballer is not there to win money and play football. A footballer is also there for the charity, for the kids, and for the others.
Yeah.
We are
It's all
there
about love.
Great
Wow,
answer.
that was an amazing answer. Thanks for being with us,
you.
mate. Thank you very much.
Those boys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Where's my son?
He's in.
Thank
I
you.
love you, Andrea.
Love you too. Enjoy your party.
We love him too.
Bye-bye. Have a good one. Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
That was amazing.
No, that was perfect, man. That was brilliant. That was
Yeah,
brilliant.
great answers.
Did you
I
like
think
his
the last
answer to
time
your
I saw
question
him-
as
Yeah,
well?
very
Yeah.
much so.
Yeah.
The last time I saw him on TV was on the TV show Get.
Yeah, I'm a
Get Me.
celeb.
Yeah.
I'm a celeb. Get me out of here.
Yes, that's very
Yeah.
true.
And I
Yeah,
was,
he did
I was
that.
like, is it the same guy running with a water bucket?
Yeah, yeah. That was. I think it was last year.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
last
Bro,
year.
I
He
mean,
was-
I'm really impressed in how passionate he is when he's
He's
talking
incredible.
Yeah.
about his football experience. Like his answer are really, I don't know, like hopeful. When he's talking about the
Yeah.
kids, the love, like the importance of the role of a football player, which is out off the pitch more
Yeah.
than kind of off the pitch more
It
than.
also touches on what we talked about before about
Yes.
people following players more than clubs.
Yeah.
It's also easier to because of social media. You can really get an idea of a player's character, or at least the character they want to put forward.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if David had the opportunity to have social media back in the day, you might have had a stronger bond with him
True.
than you might have if you're a kid. Than you might just your local club. So it's a really good opportunity, I think, for players that aren't the biggest. And I think it's happening a lot in America because we're so heavily exposed to more. Like it's more respected to be out in the open. I think than it is in Europe.
true.
In Europe, it's like, hey, have some respect for the club. But in
Yeah.
America, they're like, get out there, buddy. Sell yourself.
Yeah.
So I think more of that, I think, certainly will help continue to grow the sport, which is close
That's
to the answer
amazing,
you gave.
man.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
Yeah,
No,
I
but-
liked that he mentioned the stuff that happened off the pitch
Yeah.
More than
and the
Yeah.
effect that had and the response he got
True.
to even rival clubs.
Yeah. Well, you haven't talked about Arsenal though.
No.
He never
I'm sure
spoke
we
about
treated
spoke
him
about
with lots of
Marseille.
respect.
Wait,
We
guys,
spoke about Marseille.
I think your dad mentioned something around the role you played when it
Yeah,
comes to
FIFA.
FIFA and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you tell us the story, please?
Well, I play a lot of FIFA as well.
So
I've
it might
been
not be the
playing-
only
you guys need to do a little.
and I'm close to a couple YouTubers, FIFA content creators.
Okay.
And a French one called Abdoulaye Sarr.
Okay.
Who doesn't do too much stuff now, but a couple years back he used to do a lot of stuff. And we once spoke, and I said, "Do you know?" Because he was very close to EA, and I asked him, "Do you know how EA works regarding new legends they bring into the game every year? Like, how do they choose them? What is it based on?" And I was really curious about that. So he went back to them, came back to me, gave me a contact of someone directly at EA, and he said, I spoke to him about questions you have. You should call him. He'll answer all those questions. And he said that they have already a list of players they expect to bring out in the game in the years to come, and that they had thought about putting him in the game for a couple years now. But obviously, there needs to be like a contract at some point with the player.
Intellectual
And-
property rights.
And he owns his own
image rights.
Yeah, image
Yeah.
rights.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that I brought it up kind of got the thing going, because after that they got in touch with his agents as well.
Okay.
And they most of the time they negotiate contracts. Like for example, he's under contract with EA for the next 6 years. So for the next 6 years, he's going to be in the game.
Nice.
So probably after a certain point, they might change the the concept of the card, or maybe at the end introduce him as a legend because he's a club hero.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have players in mind, and obviously if you come in, and obviously me coming in and asking questions about it, got the process to happen a lot quicker. Yeah.
I know you guys don't have Hall of Fames, and I'm not asking him, I'm asking you.
Yes, Hall of Fame,
Right?
yeah.
In America,
be
you have a Hall of
amazing,
Fame. One of the big questions is, if you play for multiple teams, what hat or what shirt do you wear
That's
on your
what's
bust?
happening on FIFA though.
Tell him, because he has 2 cards.
He has
He has two.
different
I
camps.
saw them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has the PSG and the Newcastle.
No, it's
Tottenham.
Tottenham, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I just saw the
think it's
Newcastle one.
Tottenham.
Is basically a
David,
French,
can you pull up the cards, please, as well?
It's basically a French and an England one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If he did get inducted into the Hall of Fame, what shirt do you think he'd wear?
I mean, I think that
Hypothetical, obviously.
That one is the PSG one.
That's the one I
first
saw
And there's
before.
you get the
But
other-
the thing is,
that's the only one. Yeah, okay.
They
That's the PSG
what
one,
they
yeah.
did is that it's a Premier League and a Ligue 1 cards.
Yeah.
There's no
Oh,
club affiliated to
Yes,
the 2 cards.
but
That's
you
it.
can tell he's wearing the
You can
Tottenham
tell
top.
Yeah.
you can tell
Yes,
when it was
the other
taken,
one,
the
yeah.
image.
Which country they will take if they take the World
I
of
think
Fame?
most clubs have their own Hall of Fame.
Right.
And
But if there was one,
if there was one for
what shirt
for,
do you think
for,
he'd pick?
for
for
the
like a
answer.
European Hall of Fame?
Good question.
Yeah. Or just let's just say a football Hall of Fame.
To be honest, I think his biggest achievement, like personal achievement, not team achievement, was at Tottenham when he was elected
course he will
Players
say
Player of the Year
Yeah.
in '99. So that's the biggest personal achievement that he's come across. And coming from a season where Tottenham finished mid-table, and you have other massive names and United players that had won the Champions League that year, players that won the Premier League that year, and him being named on top of all those players made his season even bigger, knowing what the team, how the team had performed all season, made him stand out. So I would say Tottenham, but if you take team results, he's done a lot more with PSG,
Yes.
Right.
Champions League wise and all that.
It's
This
interesting.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, like, I'm sure he has connections with all 3 clubs. So it's like, how do you choose? You
Because
know?
because
What
like
about Everton
NFL,
as
for
well?
example, NFL is just based off personal stats.
As well.
Well, I mean, you
Everton
you
would
can
be that as well,
choose
yeah.
too. If you're an NFL player, let's say you play for the Dolphins and the Patriots, right? You can say, I want my Hall of Fame bust. They'll create like a little statue. I want it to be a Patriot shirt. I want it to be a...
They don't take the one that you won the most.
No,
Title
most of the
with-
time they'll be like,
yeah.
hey, this team didn't do well. You won the Super Bowl 3 times with this
Yeah.
team. You should probably pick this one. But he could say like, no, I grew up a fan of this
Yeah,
team and I
exactly.
want
Okay,
that. You
okay.
can choose whatever you want. Typically, you want the one that had the most success because you'll probably get called in more to do more
Yeah.
stuff and make
Oh,
more
that
money
makes sense.
after your career.
And
you
show
know?
your rings.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that was a good one. That was a good one, guys.
Yeah.
So you two here,
Now
yeah?
is the hard part.
Yeah, that's the tricky part.
Now it's something that we actually create. Is gonna call the English
Channel
channel
Trivia.
You guys
created
are gonna pair up.
My
I
quiz.
know you're not
Nice.
friend because you both support
Arsenal, Tottenham. Yeah.
Tottenham
I love
and
it.
Best
and
of
Arsenal.
enemies.
Best
Shout
of
out
enemy
to
will
Expressions
be,
and
will be now,
and Robbie as well. Best of
English
enemies.
Trivia Chanel trivia. Call it as
Whatever,
a
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, just one thing before we start. My offer is still on.
What's your
If you give me
what's going on?
most of the answers, I will take care of you guys.
No. Don't
So you're not
trust him.
confident.
No, he's not. He's
No,
not.
so-
No, I'm telling you, he's gonna fail.
But the way he
His
said, "I'll
football
take care of
knowledge
you guys,"
is
it sounds
zero, bro.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
like zero. He's just going to the stadium shouting and
take care
putting on
of you
some
guys.
flares and banging the drums and that's it.
Please, can you
I'm interested to see what he means
After
by
the
I'll take
police
care of
gonna
you.
Yeah, he looked at me like dead in the eyes, and he was like, "I'll
Yeah.
take good
I
care."
will
of
let
you."
you know.
I will let you know.
That sounded a bit weird.
The camera can't see under the table, so
Hell no.
keep all your hands up. Here.
That's why I said that.
Yeah.
I say that with the hand on top.
All right, let's see how it goes. Come on, kick it off. Come on.
Okay, so in terms of the quiz, we're just gonna let you know the format of the quiz.
Okay.
So we have multiple choice questions,
Okay.
and we have one single answer question.
Shit.
Okay.
There are also bonus points available as well. So should I start?
Yeah, you
go
should
on.
start.
Okay.
By the
right.
way,
Taking
before,
part in this?
before
Yeah,
you
of course
start,
you are,
Okay, all right.
before
Of
you
course.
start, when we asked the question and we talked about fans sing songs about players.
Mm-hmm.
There was one song. I won't sing it. You guys can look it up. But
Why?
About him
Okay.
involving Beckham and his missus. You should look it up. It's a fun one. But
I'll take notes.
I won't
I'll
sing
take
it.
notes.
I won't sing it.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Let's go.
let's
Right.
go.
Okay, so the first one.
Okay.
How long?
Oh, wait. How many seconds do we have to answer?
They have 10 and I have 20.
No. 10 seconds. 10 seconds max. We need to provide
we
the answer
pair
at the same time, guys. Because if you say the answer and I think that's the right one, I will just repeat what you just said.
Okay.
So 10 seconds, we all say our answer.
No, but we need to log.
We won't be that. So
We're gonna
10
have to-
seconds and they're gonna say you, and you.
Correct.
I know he's going to cheat, that's why.
No.
All right, go on.
Okay, so
Never.
how long did Thomas Tuchel service at PSG as manager? Is it
I know the
1
answer.
year, 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, or 5 years?
Okay, I got the answer first.
Okay, go on.
We'll change anyway,
Yeah.
so that there's
Go
no cheating.
3 years.
It's not even an answer,
That
mate.
wasn't an option.
It's not.
I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose. It's 2 years.
It's 10 years.
guys.
What do you mean 10 years? There's no 10 years, bro.
No,
What's going on?
it's 2 years. I did it on purpose.
No, you did not.
It's 2 years.
Okay, 2 years.
2 years.
You
I
just
will-
copy me.
I will also say 2 years
No,
because
2
you
years,
guys
yeah.
seem very confident and you're fans of the team.
See?
Yeah, it's 2 years.
It's 2 years.
He was fired just before Christmas.
Yeah, that was
remember
a nasty one.
That was a good Christmas
Seems to
gift.
be common for him.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Carry on.
Next question, guys. Okay, so you're going to hear that some questions are more Arsenal based sometimes, and
Okay,
obviously I
so
had to
yeah,
put a
that makes
couple
sense.
Spurs questions in there as well. So, which 2 French clubs did Tottenham's captain Hugo Lloris play for
I know.
before joining Tottenham?
I can give.
I'm
you
going to
the
give you
answer.
4
Oh,
choices.
I don't know. I don't need.
Wait,
choices.
but we
Well, look
only
at him.
do
He's
that.
so confident.
But we
bro.
only
Chill,
do
chill,
two.
chill,
Four
chill, chill.
Okay, you're gonna,
choices.
Listen,
you're gonna be the first to
Listen,
answer.
listen,
Okay.
listen.
I know it. 3 years.
All right, that's locked in.
No. I knew I should have worn this shirt.
All right, so I've got FC Nantes. Do you want me to pronounce them in English or French is
No,
fine?
I got you.
FC Nantes,
Mhm.
OGC Nice,
Okay.
Olympique Lyonnais, Girondins de Bordeaux.
Yeah, you're going to have to give me those other 2.
Bordeaux,
I saw Bordeaux. Yeah. what was
Nantes,
it?
And
Nantes, Lyon,
Lyon,
and Nice.
Oh, okay.
Nice, and Nantes.
Nice.
2
okay.
clubs he
Alright, go
played
on,
for
Sven.
before.
You're the first. Go on, mate.
So the first gonna be Nantes and whatever club.
So Nantes, Bordeaux, Nice, and Lyon.
So it's 2 clubs.
He
Yes.
played for 2 clubs before joining Tottenham.
Nantes
Yeah.
and Bordeaux.
Okay.
From everyone laughing, I think that's Nantes the answer. You go next, right?
Well, I'm taking the piss, but I think I will struggle on that one. I think he's Nice.
Fuck, I
And-
wanted to say Nice.
Don't swear, man.
Oh, sorry.
Nice, and I think the other one is Lyon.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to say at least Nice and Lyon because he nodded.
He's on the best spot.
All right.
Go on.
Yeah, same
I
answer.
mean-
Nice and Lyon, obviously.
And the guy
Alright,
said
fine.
Nantes and Bordeaux.
yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
You won't know, guys, where you're standing regarding leaderboard.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
true. Yeah,
So
Yeah.
until the next episode.
you
Yeah,
can
that's
give one
true.
good answer and
You're
get it
not
wrong the
gonna
next
react.
time.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Are all the questions worth the same value? 1 point?
Yeah.
You said bonus
One
points.
And
point for
there's-
everyone and 2 for me.
There's
Oh, okay.
certain questions where there's bonus points.
Ooh.
Okay.
So,
But you'll let us know.
well, there's one now.
Hey,
Okay.
example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Glad I
now that
asked.
you've all given your answers, you need to give me the year he joined Spurs.
Alexis is gonna start on that one. Okay. Is that multiple
obviously
choices or
bonus-
just
No,
the
the
year?
bonus point answer is obviously it's tough because you have to.
Yeah.
just
Okay.
give
There's
that
no
one
multiple
answer.
choice. Okay.
God, he's been there for a while.
Yeah. It's been.
I think he might have joined right around the time I started the podcast, which was 2015. So I'm going to say 2014.
So that would be 8 years. ago. 2014. Okay.
Maybe, yeah. You know what? I'll switch it to 2015, actually. It feels like he's been there for about 8-7 years.
It's been there forever.
Okay, switching to 2015, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going for 2016.
I would say.
You know the whole Wikipedia. You don't know this?
No. I would say 2011.
It's been there that long.
Yeah,
Really?
11
Really?
years?
I'll say it's been there for
Yeah, the year he joined.
the year
It'll
it
be
joined.
easier.
2012.
Okay, that's locked in.
That is locked in.
Okay, let's go.
If it's 2014 and I switched it, I'm going to be so mad.
You won't know. You will be back in you.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll be in New York, mate.
I'll be furious, though.
We'll have you on the stream. Don't worry, bro. We'll have you on the stream.
Right, okay. Next question.
Go on.
I'm an Arsenal fan, so
Really?
this is
go.
linked to an Arsenal player.
Go on.
So what year did Arsenal's Nicolas Anelka
Yes.
start his professional career at PSG?
Oh.
Is it 1994, 1996, 1998, or 2000?
Yeah, go on, man.
1996.
Yeah.
You seem so
Same
sure
answer.
every time you answer.
Yeah.
That's,
I know. I do that with my wife
okay.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, same
96,
answer for me.
96. Should I say 96?
Nice.
Like
1996.
that. 96.
Is everyone?
Yeah, I think
96?
everyone. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
why? Because I remember you have a shirt
Yes.
and we talked about it a couple of days
Yeah,
ago.
I know.
About the
I
Anelka.
have the name set on the back
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
I almost bought the, what was it, like almost like a gray gold Anelka.
Yes.
I
piece.
love
yeah,
that shirt.
Yeah, that was.
They
that
wanted
is the best
$220, and I was like,
What?
How much?
$220.
No,
for
we
it.
have no. That's overpriced, man.
Of course it is. It's America.
And then you put 20% on top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's this
After
as well.
tax.
Yeah.
Yo, old shirts are very expensive now in the US.
Yeah.
Okay, that's yeah.
Yeah, locked in. All locked in.
All
Over
right.
to you, Andrea.
So he gave me a bit of grief because he said my questions were tough. So I'm hoping you guys do well. Okay.
Okay.
So how many French players currently play in the Premier League?
Oh, come on.
27, 30, 33,
I thought it was your
or 40
Wait. Let me get this straight. French players
that
that
play?
are having French citizenship
So qualify for the French national team.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could
with
be.
French
Their
citizenship.
nationality is France.
Okay, and they
And
play in
they
the
are
Premier League.
currently in the Premier League.
Can you repeat? You said 27, 30.
27, 30, 33, or 40?
First,
Yeah, go on.
33.
I'll go with 27.
Why do you shake your head like?
Because I saw you.
He's already regretting his answer. Like that. Just shouting random stuff like, all the time. Like.
I just told him.
Man,
It's
3
only- why you-
years. No, I'm
Why
gonna
Why
3
you
years.
so confident? I said, I
just
saw your
lock
screen
in
is
3
like-
years on every question for me.
that's my answer.
That's my answer.
I'm gonna go with 40. Because there's a lot of youth players, especially over at Crystal Palace.
That's true. The youth, I forgot.
Yeah, but it's like that are in the Premier League squad, like
Yeah,
the
they
first
have-
team
yeah,
squad.
first league.
I'm not talking
No,
about
it's
like
youth,
academy
19 or
and
stuff
youth
like
and
that,
stuff.
No, but I would say 40 because it's like 2 French players per team. So it's not.
Yeah, that's true.
That
Actually,
much.
that's not
It's
that
probably
much.
37, but I'm gonna go with 40.
40. You go 40 as well.
Yeah.
It's good because I didn't say 37. So. Cool.
I thought it was 27, 33.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going with 40 as well, yeah?
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
gonna go with
40.
40.
Okay.
Right.
Go on.
Those are all locked in.
How many questions do you have left?
I think we've got.
I'm not looking at
4
your
left.
screen, mate.
Why you?
Yeah.
I'm looking for my.
Yeah. Go on.
Jeez.
Right. So, which player has the most Champions League appearances to play in both leagues? Henry or Thierry Henry? Robert Pires? Claude Makelele? Or Patrice Evra?
Can you repeat the question?
Oh my days, and that guy.
Which football player, has the most Champions League appearances to
Champions
play
League,
both
okay.
in both the French and English league?
Henri, Makelele, Evra, and who else?
And
Guys,
Robert
the
Pires,
question is a bit of a
Robert
tricky
Pires.
one because he said in both leagues. So you need to remember
No,
Who has-
that means is someone who
I'll go.
played
You
in
said
UK.
Evra, right? I'm going with Evra.
It's gotta be
Patrice
Evra.
Evra.
It has to be because
Evra.
Henri had appearances, but not an incredible amount,
not
unfortunately, which
that
is why
much,
he
yeah.
left
Yes,
Arsenal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking like
Claude
when you asked me
Makelele,
the
great
question.
career. Evra, spent a lot more time in Champions League.
I
than
think
And
so.
he
anyone else.
spent long career.
And
Yeah.
Robert Pires,
He was playing for Marseille
yeah.
back
Nah,
in the days, and
Yeah.
it's
Right.
Patrice Evra.
So everyone's locked in their answer?
Evra, yeah.
Evra.
Right, okay.
Okay, go on.
All right. So was it 3 questions left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, how many French coaches have coached in the Premier League?
Arsene Wenger,
5,
A lot.
Vieira.
8, 9, or 13?
Can I just ask something? Since now? No, but I just want to know. Because
Oh my days.
in the whole Premier League,
Yeah, like
Since 1992.
I'm born in that year.
yeah,
It's
really.
amazing.
Like
yeah,
ever.
So was I, dude. I just look like shit. I was bad. I'm sorry. To
because Premier League are not too fond of
Yeah,
like there's not
French.
too many French
Yeah, that's very true.
coaches.
German coaches though, but yeah.
You look at now apart like someone said Vieira that he's the only one currently coaching a Premier League team.
Yeah, that's true.
So there hasn't been too many. That's why the answers are 5, 8, 9, and 13.
So we can exclude 13 for sure.
He's misleading him, and he's just
Sherlock
lying,
Holmes.
like-
You come from London, mate. Sherlock Holmes. I'm like in the mood of Sherlock Holmes.
Go on. What is your answer, bro?
5.
Okay. Waiting for 5?
Okay.
Or
Stu?
maybe
I'll-
3.
Just don't change your answer. Yeah, go on.
No, what, can I get a repeat of the options?
Yeah, sure. 5, 8, 9, or 13.
13.
5, 8, 9,
You
13.
know what your answer is?
8.
Okay, 8.
I'm going to go with 5.
8.
Okay. Different answers. Good.
Good.
Okay,
Yeah,
last 2
laughing at
questions and the hardest one to finish.
Of course.
Okay. So what 2 Chelsea players, in fact, played for Lille in 2011 to 2012 season?
I have
Was
one
it Joe Cole,
already.
Aiden Hazard, Ida Gudjohnsen, or Jody Morris?
2 players, yeah?
2 players.
Joey Morris. Joey Morris, yeah.
Do you want to start?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Joe Cole and Eden Hazard.
Hazard for sure. Lille.
He's pretending to think he's just going to repeat what you just said, mate. That's
By the way, just
That's so
lock in what
annoying,
he
bro.
said. for
Lock in
me.
what he said for
Yeah.
Lock in what he said for everyone.
It was
Everyone's
too
gonna-
confident.
That's what I said. Do you want to start? Yeah, go on. Just start.
I'm not an idiot.
didn't know.
He's smarter than me.
Yeah.
Me, I'm just like
You're like,
brute.
okay.
I'm brute.
Yeah.
But him is like, let me get the answer from
Bruh.
him.
Yeah,
And
Joe-
we-
Joe-
You know when a
Leader
guy
is
like
out.
walks right into the club and doesn't wait in line? I walk behind him and go, yo, I'm with him. That's what I did with him just now. You said that shit back.
I'm the
I
one
was like,
fighting
yeah.
with the
Yeah, yeah.
bouncer to get in.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
days.
definitely.
Joko Leading is out. Yeah, but that sounds obvious
Hazard
as well,
for
to be
sure.
fair. So
Yep. All locked in?
I think so, yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Swear
Okay, well
pretends
done.
that he
If
wanna.
Gauthier is sure, we all sure.
Come on, man. Okay,
Okay.
you're not going to start with the last one then. Go on.
Last question, and there's a bonus. There's 2 bonus points on that question. So, which player was transferred for the largest amount of cash money
Nice.
from Ligue 1?
Ligue 1.
Yeah. Oh, is that how you pronounce
Is
it?
that Ligue 1? What was that? Was that German or something?
He's saying it's all of it.
That's what- when he asked the question earlier, he was
I
like,
said Ligue 1.
Ligue 1, Ligue Paris, Ligue
League
I said
He said Ligue 1, he
I
said
did
Ligue
say
1.
the Parisian
Yeah,
League
yeah.
like an idiot, but I
From
did.
Ligue 1 to the Premier League. What was the
I have the
largest?
answer again.
So
Which
don't,
player?
Don't, yeah.
Which player was transferred the largest amount
From Ligue 1 to
from Ligue 1 to
To the Premier League.
the Premier League?
So no multiple choice.
No multiple choice.
Just
You need
drop
to
the name.
drop a name.
What's the
You
second
first.
bonus?
Why? Why me
You'll
first?
get it
because I'm
after.
looking at my iPad. I have internet.
Oh. No, I know you're not cheating.
Can I
on
Google?
that. I'll go with
Ligue 1.
League 1 to the Premier League. It's one of the recent ones, I'd say.
It was around 72 million euros.
What the fuck, that guy?
You remember the
Yeah,
exact
because
amount?
it was crazy.
You mean overrated?
Oh, I know this.
Not really at that time, but
Bruh.
it was a couple of years
Do I-
ago.
do I
and
text
today,
it?
Come on.
Okay, Hazard.
Okay.
Do you think Hazard is overrated?
Yeah.
When he signed to Chelsea, he was overrated.
No, but
It was good, it
is.
was
You're
good.
crazy.
No,
I've
it was
seen
good.
him
It was quite-
in
Can
Chelsea.
you go next, and then I'll go in.
Okay.
No, because I want to show I know it.
72. Was it a? Was not DJ Drogba? Was it?
I love the Drogba.
No.
Oh, no, come on.
I did.
One
It
of
has
the-
to be
Chelsea,
recent
but I
because
love
Drogba
Drogba.
was a while
Yeah,
ago.
I know.
I know, but I still love him. I also love Sampaoli. I think he's the greatest coach ever.
What?
Yeah. I wanted him for the men's national team. US.
Nicolas Pepe.
Yep. That's my answer. Nicola Pepe.
You are.
I thought you were going to say Martial.
No.
Oh.
Nicolas Pepe was more expensive, I think.
Yeah, we got scammed.
And when you said overrated, I was like,
got
okay,
scammed.
I asked to be him.
we got scammed, bro. It was the agent.
I think, yeah, it is, huh?
Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
agent.
Nicolas Pepe. Nicolas Pepe.
But
Is that your answer as well?
Yes,
Yeah.
but to save Arsenal's name here, we're paying like under 55 installment payments.
Mm.
So it's really not gonna happen.
Okay, so bonus points.
Okay.
2 bonus points. So you're going to have to give me the price of the
Joel,
transfer,
you
and I referred to transfer market for the price. So the exact
The
price.
official- yeah, okay, got it. You said
And-
cash. Yeah.
What season did he join?
Okay. No. You last one. I'm going first. I'm just gonna give you a try. I'd
The-
say 72 million. Because I heard this.
Okay, so that's why, in case people look it up on different sites, I looked it up on transfer market.
website 72,
I got the
and
price there.
it was in 2017.
It was before COVID.
When we arrived in London in 2017, he was still already playing for
No.
Arsenal, was it?
No.
Why am I asking you the question? Like,
Yeah, he
what's going
answered
on?
something else, bro.
No,
He didn't. He said
You
someone
should
else.
tell us when Hazard moved.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
2017.
I'll go with
That was
20. I'll go with 2018.
It
2018.
was just a year after we
Yeah,
arrived.
2018, 72 million.
Okay.
When you say transfer market, are you talking pounds or euros?
I'm talking euros.
Euros.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
7 Bitcoin. I know it was 72 million, but I'm struggling to remember if that's pounds or euros.
Or dollars, maybe. USD.
Dollars like 120 back then.
100 bags.
Bad. Yeah. Thank God your economy's struggling. I'm living good right now.
Look at him.
It was 2018, but I can't remember the exact value. So I'm going to go with it. I think it was 86 in our money. 86 million.
So that was
72 sounds about
Yeah,
right.
72 feels
Yeah.
right.
So
So I'm going to stick with 72.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say 2019.
Oh,
Yeah, and
72.
instead of 72
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
it's not fair. That guy's gonna win everything.
No,
So,
no.
so did you answer?
Mine, yeah. Now
What
that
are
he
you doing
passed,
here, bro? Like,
do you know,
what's going
I
on?
was quiet. Now that he passed, I'm gonna say something like 2019.
Okay.
And no, I'm gonna change the price
Such
though.
a fraud,
I'm,
man.
I'm gonna say 76 million.
Okay.
Just to sound different.
Yeah,
Okay.
always.
Fair
alright.
enough. Okay.
So you basically switched your answer.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
He's the co-host. He can do
Yeah,
whatever
okay,
the hell he wants.
and that's said by the other co-host.
All right. So we're just gonna we won't give you rankings as of now.
Okay, but can you give
but
us
we'll
the
give
answers?
the answers
Yeah.
for everyone
Okay,
listening and
go on,
watching.
go on.
Okay.
Wrap it up. Okay, wrap it up.
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first question was, how long was
Yeah.
Thomas Tuchel
Yeah, 2 years.
service
2
at
years.
PSG as their manager? And the answer was 2 years.
Yes.
Years, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I said.
So
3.
for Hugo Lloris,
No, you said 3.
so for Hugo, the 2 clubs he played for were Lyon and Nice,
Got it right.
Thank
And-
you, my G.
and he joined in 2012.
Oh, you were very close. You said
I said
2011.
12.
You said
I,
12. Yeah,
I
you
say
said
12.
Yeah.
You're so lucky.
Lucky man.
Okay.
All right, go on.
Yep. So what year did Nicolas Anelka
Yeah,
from
that's
Arsenal
96.
start his career?
Yeah.
96.
Professional career at PSG.
Professional career.
1996.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Good job, guys.
Shout out to Nico, PSG legend as well. We love you, mate.
You should have
So-
stayed at Arsenal.
For the next question, how many players currently play in the Premier League?
Yeah.
The answer was 33.
French player, you said 33?
The answer is 33.
You said 33.
You're a fraud.
So
I
lucky.
said 33.
I said 40. Yeah,
I thought there was
both of you said
33.
40.
I thought there was 33 just at Crystal Palace.
Okay, he's the only one having the right answer. We're making fun of him, but he's actually smashing
just
it. So
Please chill out.
It can't be because Nicola Pepe actually doesn't play. So
Right, okay. So which player had the most Champions League appearances to play in both leagues? The answer was Thierry Henry.
Really?
How?
Wow, impressive.
because those years at Barca must have put him over the top.
Yeah. When he asked me, I said
no.
Ever
The
as
question
well.
was the French league and the
No,
English
but
league.
just any player that played in both those leagues. So it doesn't matter where they got the appearances.
I got it wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
said Ever as well, I think.
Yeah.
When he
Yeah,
asked
my
me the
bad.
question. All right. So, how many coaches have coached teams in the Premier League?
French coaches.
The answer was 8.
I
said
said
8.
5.
Come on.
You got it right, guys.
I have almost all the list, you know. So
Hilarious.
Okay, list them then.
Arsène Wenger, Patrick Vieira, Jean Tigana,
Wow.
Jacques Santini, Rémi Garde,
Remy Gard. He
Perrin.
coached in MLS.
Alain Perrin,
Now, yeah.
et il me manque les autres.
Jeez.
I don't
Missing
have
the others.
the other.
Well,
still
no,
good
no, guys.
Yeah, that was impressive.
That was
Yeah.
impressive. Nice one.
Wow.
Nice one.
I'm so
Bullshit.
disappointing to have.
No,
a
that's
whole
all right.
list
That's all right.
that-
That's decent, man. Wow, well done.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not luck.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Bro.
Right,
Wow,
the
what a
last
name.
question
Yeah.
from that I asked: which Chelsea player or players played for Lille in 2011 to 2012? And the answers were Joe Cole and Eden Hazard.
Yeah. Easy.
I got it right.
Easy, easy. We just repeated what he said. Bro.
just
Ah,
copied
Jesus.
him.
Yeah, I also got it right because I listened to him. I said, "Call to you." What are we saying?
Okay.
Right, go on.
So, the last question was indeed, the answer was indeed Nicolas Pepe.
Yes. I
Biggest
knew it.
transfer.
That's what I said.
Official price on transfer market, 80 million euros.
Oh,
so,
geez.
no
I
one
was
got that
close. You
right.
misled us.
I was-
You dropped 72.
72 is the pounds. That's a problem.
I gave you too many clues. to be
And
fair.
the year was 2019-2020. So, you were
Wow.
1 year off, guys.
What did
So
I
it
say?
was under Emery. I thought it was the
did I
beginning
say?
of Emery's
You
reign.
said 2019.
No, but
I said 2019.
So you got it right. Yeah.
I said 2018.
Yeah, same. Okay, fair enough.
All right, well done, guys.
Yeah, I think
Well
that was a
done.
bit
It
nice,
wasn't
nice,
bad.
guys. That was a
was
very
tough.
detailed English channel trivia. I love
switch
that.
it
I
up.
love
We'll,
that.
we'll find some interesting ones.
Yeah,
Definitely.
appreciate
I would
that,
almost
man.
say it was too
Appreciate
difficult, but no, go
So
ahead.
just
It
so
was
you
really
know,
good.
questions and the quiz might evolve around depending on fixtures. So if it's Champions League
Okay,
week, there
that
might
makes
be
sense.
Champions League questions
nice.
during when the
Interesting.
World Cup comes around.
Okay.
So
fair
be
enough.
prepared.
But wait, because we played, but we don't know what we win.
Oh man,
Uh-huh.
see, let's
I'll
see,
play
let's
for
see.
free.
Listen,
What's that?
I'll take care of you.
Okay.
I'm
gonna
the eyes
watch.
as well.
Okay.
I'll just stand in the corner
Yeah.
over there.
I got free
Watch it
swings.
all.
Yeah.
Free swings.
Keep the cameras rolling. I'm gonna put this on a different website.
So guys, for the first one, I think that was an amazing one. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Big round of applause for Alexis as well.
I
Yeah?
mean it. Honored to be a part of it. I love what you guys do. So this is
Same,
absolutely
likewise,
incredible.
bro.
Thank
Good
you,
to
man.
have you. Good to have you.
When we're gonna be in New York, we're definitely gonna hang
we need
out.
to
Bro,
do
you
that,
got to.
bro.
I mean, you on Fifth Ave, bro. We'll go to the store.
Yeah.
There you go, Fifth
Let's
Avenue
go.
as well. Yeah, thanks for organizing the quiz as well.
No
Shout
worries,
out to
guys.
you guys, our English correspondents, consultants.
Yes.
Right? The proper Londoners are here actually.
Thank you.
French
Thank
as
you.
well.
Thank
And
you.
Swell, thanks for
Thanks me.
I don't know for just being here, mate. All your answers were so
I
funny.
know.
I think you
It's
did
gonna
really
be
well.
always like that.
Yeah.
Well done, well
Muchísimas
done, mate.
gracias.
Wikipedia,
Mucho.
Wikipedia is here. Wikipedia. Shout out to Wikipedia as
Wiki
well.
Gauthier.
Top
Shout
man.
out to myself.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Stu.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah, guys, follow us on Instagram at I am Parisian Londoner, Twitter as well, Parisian LDN. We are going to come back probably in about 2 weeks or 3 weeks' time. If you enjoy the podcast, share it, like it, spread the love around you. Yeah, true Parisian fans are here to
Let us
provide
know as
some,
well if you want to Twitch with
yeah,
Gauthier
Twitch
playing
show, yeah,
FIFA.
Yeah, those two, yeah.
Those two
Twitch-
playing
Twitch
FIFA, that would be
FIFA
amazing.
match, yeah,
Let
that
us
would
know
be
in the
good.
comment like that. We
That would be
make
good.
it. Thank you to Sanucci. Thank you for
Terrascope
Terrascope.
for sponsoring us as well. And on to the next one. And
Allez,
Allez,
Paris.
Ali Paris.
Go Paris.